All right, here we are in the winners bracket semifinals of the Alpha Navigators Cup weekly number 26. And this is going to be starring in the blue Infernal here, Snoxtar, and his opponent, another Infernal, wearing the red color, is msrm. And these two have met up before. And as we can see from the immediate hostilities, as they send their Hexens to the center of the map, and they just throw these fireballs, no, whatever they are, these little plasma magic balls at each other to the death, it looks like. They're just going to battle to see whose Hexen will die. I don't know why there's so much Hexen on Hexen violence at the beginning of this game. There, they are microing, but it seems that that micro is effectively doing nothing. So I'm not sure what you get from stepping forward and back when you're on auto attack, but they showed to each other the strength, and then they both ate out. They both went out and ate a cabbage to completely nullify all of that. And here we go again. They're back at it, right back at it. But msrm says, no, I gotta get out of here. There's some gaunts. And Snoxtar takes that as a minor victory and does not even mind that his farm took a little bit of damage. Instead, he actually got the farm and some Fellhogs to do some tanking for him there, which actually works out. And this is one of the easiest camps in the game when it comes to sort of like HP and how easy it is to sort of kill the units. But because these units have the craziest pathing with their charge attack, they can be some of the most annoying creeps to take out. So I imagine that's why we saw the farm there. Although the farms, of course, always play a secondary purpose, which is to hold the camp too. Now this aggression here, it's a single brute and some gaunts up against 4 gaunts. Sort of a pretty even match. A couple more gaunts have shown up, and we're only on a conclave here for msrm. So Snoxtar's trying to deny this base. And I think this is just him knowing that msrm likes to open very eco strong at the beginning, and I think the reason why msrm likes to play that way is exactly this. He knows that it's basically safe. He can defend that with the gaunts that he had. For a moment he was behind, but with defender advantage, that being behind didn't actually put him that far behind. Just because Snoxtar had to march his gaunts across the map, msrm's later gaunts pop out just as they were needed. And so we'll see if if Snoxtar is going to continue his pressure here. I think that was a wise play against that early eco. And it's something I've commented in a few other games, which is it's really good in this matchup in the Infernal versus Infernal that all of the openings are fairly viable. Certainly Snoxtar could have done some serious damage there if msrm's timings were a little bit less. But msrm was able to survive that rush, so that sort of makes both those openings viable. Neither of them are in a huge advantage at this point as a result, and it is a little bit about the sort of internal balance of this faction, which is its balance with itself. It has a lot of good internal balance in my mind, and in some sense I think the infernal units or the infernal faction is the best for that sort of internal cohesion. And I look forward to seeing as our other factions gain that as well. So there was just a little bit of fighting over that speed camp there, but Snoxtar is using his army advantage to take map advantage as well. Now msrm, let's see, he's on his Greater Shrine, and we see that Twilight Spire out, so I think we know what's going to happen here. He's going to place his third base, yes, and then as this Twilight Spire finishes, let's see. Yes, we get a Harbinger popping out, scoops up his gaunts, and he's gonna try and go out and get some damage done. Now Snoxtar is creeping this camp, which this is one of the worst things you want to be doing when you get that notification, oh, I'm under attack, is, oh, I'm actually in the middle of fighting the Bruiser, or even worse, the Skull Squisher. And actually, the Gaunt drops get down, but Snoxtar doesn't have to worry too much. There is a Magmadon there. Now, msrm likes to micro his drops, sort of like a tank drop almost, by just dropping them down, letting a volley to go off, maybe snipe a few units like we see there, and then scoop them right back up. That poor Magmadon got trapped with his pathing. But we did see, actually, the super... Did that actually take it out? I think it did. We didn't get a teleport back in that I missed there, no. I think the Super Shroud Stone took out the dropship, and that was unfortunately a big loss for msrm. Let's see, yeah. Not produced another dropship yet, although it looks like he's got one queued up. There we go. Or he didn't have it queued up, I should say. He was rallying that Twilight Spire in preparation for another one. And Snoxtar, I think, has just decided I'm going to go out and try and, again, get a little bit more ahead. I think he could have taken that win where he had killed the drop and just marched across the map. But because of, again, defender's advantage, I think msrm could have just pumped out units and may have been ready. His force wasn't that big. He has some good gaunt count here. He had that single mag. But again, with defender's advantage, maybe there's a Shroud Stone up. Maybe there's some Failhogs you're going to have to deal with. Snoxtar decided, I'm going to go creeping instead. And, ooh, okay, we have... The drop here was just taking some towers for now, but it got right on top of that army, and it got a little dangerous there for a second, but he scooped them all back up. Now he's trying to head back into the base. Well, there's actually 2 Shroud Stones right there. One of them's going to take some pot shots. And trying to get on top of the imps and get one imp, another imp. We hear the fiends out there. It looks like Snoxtar was able to kill one of the Gaunts as well. But at the moment, it's msrm getting the advantage here. A couple more Gaunts popping out, but his Gaunts are able to focus them down really quickly before they can do any damage to his Gaunts. But now his Gaunts are going down. We're down to 4 Gaunts. They get scooped back up and they get out of there. I missed at that moment that Snoxtar had moved across the map here and was trying to get some damage done, but it looks like his army is in full retreat, and we see Shadow Flyers take that out as well. So bye-bye drop number 2. And Snoxtar, if his push hadn't lost there, it looked like it lost a little bit, he might be in a really good position. It looks like he might feel like he is still in that good position and is trying to move out here. Just as msrm is putting down this base, it's going to get denied. And it actually gets full on killed, not a cancel. So that means all those resources were lost. And now Snoxtar's got almost full map control, has almost all the maps. We see a fiend here. All the camps, I should say, not all the maps. It's got all the camps on the map. Gonna take this vision camp. Is this another fiend out here? Yes, it is. Trying to take back a couple camps. We see both of the Luminite towers msrm has claimed. And that fiend gets cleaned up. Are there more drops on the way? No, we see mags. And we've got some more static D in terms of farms. We've got a vault. That base is back down again. And are we up to Elder yet? We have just started our Elder Shrine, which means maybe a dragon on the way after that. And Snoxtar still out on the maps trying to stay in control of it. And he's putting down more production and also putting down another shrine. Now he's got his Hellborn out. Ooh, he's got 4 Hellborn out. That's a pretty good count. Once you start getting up to that count, they start to one-shot things, and they're, especially when they're upgraded, you get a lot of that damage over time. It's good stuff. And he is being a little aggressive again. Let's see here. From MSRM, I mean, this just looks like a Gaunt Force. His mags and stuff were chilling back home. So this looks like maybe just a creeping force. There's a single Fiend there trying to get some scouting maybe. While Snoxtar's moved up here, look at him chopping down the trees. Saying no more defensive wall for you. Although that mag, after doing his job as a lumberjack, is pulled back. Now the Hellborns are the ones that are going to be doing the splash damage here. And we see so much of that splash. But there are just so many mags and they're well split. They're going to get on top of these Gaunts, pushing them back into the healing camp. Now the Hellborns are actually doing alright damage on them. The single Weaver comes in and yanks in one of the Hellborns. Now look at how many Fiends have spawned here thanks to this dragon overhead. And that's thanks to that tier 3 that we saw MSRM going for, and that's going to force Snoxtar back. There's just so many Fiends here, it's going to be hard for him to deal. These units are likely all going to go down. And yeah, there we go. Finally getting a surround on them, and then the dragon just from above adding insult to injury, breathing down onto them. Some Plague Breath. And this is a summon Shroudstone that gets now taken out. And we see that all of these Fiends are going to come into the base now. We do have a few units over here that were chilling in the healing camp that are turned to fight. But there's a mag there, sort of tanking it all with a brute. And the imps are getting taken out by the Fiends. Here comes a Hellborn, but there are Hellborn from MSRM in the back too. And, well, actually, a lot of these units started to get cleaned up. Only the mag looks like he's still alive down there, but 3 more mags come in. They, with the stomp, that's GG from Snoxtar in game 1. Okay, here we are in game number 2, and this is MSRM spawning as the blue Infernal in the top right here of Furious Resolve. And we have Snoxtar now wearing the red colors in the bottom right. And last game was kind of back and forth. We had points of the game where both of these players had the advantage. Now, last game the Hexens were super aggressive at each other. And this time they just walk right on by. MSRM took a quick peek and said, "Oh, I see you there." But no worries. Now he did eat the cabbage. And it looks like Snoxtar did that too. That's just to deny it from your opponent, of course. While they're creeping, they might want to use that, and now they can't. And MSRM sees that Snoxtar's gone with a shrine opening into a conclave. And it's this time that MSRM has gone conclave and vault first. I think these two probably play each other a lot and know each other's style, because they seem to be sort of trying to get a build order advantage, like trying to see where he's got this. So it looks like he wants to be aggressive. And what I mean by that is recently, as recent as last week during the Oriole tournament, I believe we saw MSRM playing a lot of Shrine first and Gaunt drops, and maybe Snoxtar, noticed that, and we saw in the last game he tried to be aggressive early on. And so maybe now this time we see MSRM trying to switch that up, knowing that his friend and opponent Snoxtar might know his standard build and might try and counter him. Now this time it looks like Snoxtar has gone for Shrine first, which is maybe to match MSRM. He's saying, you go Shrine first, I'll go Shrine first, now we're even. But instead, MSRM has decided, well, actually, no, I'm not going Shrine first. I'm going double production first. And I'm going to come at you with as many units as I can. And here he is with 4 gaunts instead of 2. And already it's 4 gaunts instead of 0. And here goes. Finally, 1 gaunt goes down as well as the Hexens on both sides. It's 3 gaunts versus 2. As well as 3 imps here. The imps adding a little bit of extra DPS. But that's going to be already a GG out of Snoxtar. And that's msrm winning a trip to the Winners Bracket Finals.